Hey there, welcome back to Move Mountains Pilates and day 2 of your 21-day New Year's challenge. Congrats on coming back. That's the most important part, is coming back again, day 2. Now, before we get into it, I'd also like to note, it's okay if you do fall off. It's okay if maybe you did just skip a day. The important thing is you're here now. So building momentum is what's really going to help you to just stick with the challenge. It's going to feel like a habit. You won't have to think about it so much. It won't feel like so much effort to get to your mat. So try to be consistent, but life happens and it's okay. It's okay if you just kind of feel down one day and don't want to work out. Just go back. Keep picking yourself back up and getting back at it. I wanted to mention that really early on in the challenge before I lose you. It's okay if you fall off, just get back up. That's what I'm telling myself this year. I'm gonna try to do daily movement every day this year. It's not gonna happen though, and I know that. And the rule I'm telling myself is if I skip one day, don't skip the next. And it's okay if I skip the next, as long as I keep coming back. So remind yourself of that. Don't quit, just get back up. Anyways, so day 2 is another just kind of full body beginner Pilates workout. Nothing too fancy, you just need you and your mat. So we're gonna start today on your hands and knees. All right, getting settled on your hands and knees, let's spread the fingers wide. And remember what we talked about yesterday with the shoulders relating to wrist tension and discomfort. So push the floor away, spread the shoulders wide across the back, and then send your shoulders down from the ears as well. Turn that inner crease of your elbow to face forwards, and that should help you. And then we're gonna start here today by just doing some cat-cows. So on your exhale, tuck the tail around your back, drop the head. Inhale, stay. Exhale, unwind. So remember, it's a forced exhale through the mouth. Inhale, breathe into your mid-back, the sides of the ribs. Exhale, unwind, maybe lifting your chest a little bit. Watch that you don't stick your head up to the sky too much. The neck follows the line of the rest of your spine. Pay attention here. Are you moving through center? Does your body want to deviate? Now is just your gentle warm-up, your chance to tune in, check in with your body, see what's going on, and see if we can gain a bit more control. Last one here. Beautiful. Let's now find neutral. Engage your core nice and tight. Watch that you haven't sunk in the low back. You're pushing the floor away. The neck is long. Let's just reach one leg. And then lower and readjust so you don't hit the wall. And keep going, alternating sides. Remember, you have that favorite cup of drink on your tailbone. Don't spill a drop of it. Only lift so high that your hips can stay level. And maybe you put a bit more weight onto your stable knee. That way you're not putting more weight onto your hands, leaning forwards. That's gonna make your wrists sore. Keep your weight more onto the knees. Keep some pressure into your fingertips. And that's gonna help with your wrists a ton. Now, can you add in your opposite arm reaching forwards? And you still have that favorite drink on your tailbone. Don't spill it. If you're a little wobbly here, my favorite trick for this is reach your leg first, then add in the arm. It makes a huge difference. If you're feeling pretty stable, do it all at once. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that you're successful. And we'll just finish off 4 more. Opening up through the shoulders, through the hip, building strength in the glute. And almost most importantly is establishing your mind-body awareness. Getting that connection going, that's what's gonna help you out the most with Pilates. That's why we start so simple. All right, let's lower down, come off your wrist for a second, maybe a shell stretch, whatever feels good. Then let's go back into your hands and knees, just a little bit more mobility before we go into more work. Let's do a thread the needle. I'd like you to lift one arm, reach it high to the sky, and then thread it under. Lower your shoulder towards the mat, letting the other arm bend. And then press up. 2 more on this side. Again, you have kind of a bit more weight towards your knees. As you reach up, try to almost lighten your touch with that bottom hand on the floor. Really reach away from the bottom hand. And then maybe pause at the bottom of this last one. Enjoy that stretch behind the shoulder. Take a breath. Press up. And we'll switch sides. When you're ready, inhale. Reach that arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. It just feels so good to move, especially if you haven't done a lot of movement the last few weeks. One more time. Don't mind my hair flopping around. Take a big breath. And then let's just go onto your side. It might be helpful to line up your body at the back end of your mat. That way you have something to kind of guide you. I want your feet probably further back than you think, in line with your bum. Head and shoulders also in line with your bum. And then you're down low. You're not propped up like this. I want you low. You could use a ball or a block to prop up your head instead. Whatever feels best. I just like my arm. The reason we're down low is so that you can pick up your bottom waist. Find a little mouse hole space. It's okay if you don't physically have a gap, but basically you just want to cinch up your waist and kind of reach out of your top hip so that you've got equal length on each side of your waist. Then we're going to lift your top leg and lower it down. Nice and simple. As you lift, I only want you to go so high that you don't squish your mouse, okay? We're not going for Jane Fonda style kicks. That's more hip flexor. We want to target the side of the glute. So how high can you lift without collapsing your mouse hole? Reach long out of your foot. It's going to help you to keep that mouse hole. And then there's a couple other ways your body might want to cheat. Watch that your leg's not kicking forwards, your hips not rolling back, and your knee and toes stay pointing forwards. Watch that you're not trying to go lateral. Lots to think about. Tune in, reach long, knee points forwards the whole time. I like the exhale as I lift, because that's helping to engage the core to keep that mouse hole lifted. My glutes are already starting to feel it. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one, we're holding it up. Tiny circles, you're reaching long out of your toe, circling just so big that your balance is challenged, but not so big that you're like wobbling all over the place. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Okay, I really want to optimize that burn, so bend the bottom leg, lift the top leg back, hip height, side kick, reach forwards, and glide it back. I like a little pulse going forwards, that way I can go a little deeper. And I am pointing my toes forwards, flexing the ankle back. You don't have to do that. It's kind of an extra thing that if you're busy focusing on all these other things, I'd rather you just like do one or the other with the ankle than both. Try not to floppy foot though. I want your spine to stay straight. So I don't really care how far you kick forwards. Try not to round your back. Try not to have your top shoulder going around. Keep the mouse hole. Reach long. Send your bum back as you reach your foot forwards. I told you there's a lot to think about. If you can't focus on everything, including the ankles, that's fine. We got 4 more. Really burning that glute just to hold the leg up. Last two. We're building flexibility as well as strength here. I think that was your last one. Let's do one more to be sure. And then lower down. Now let's keep this shape. Just a little bit more glute burn, but also waist focus. Try not to knock your string lights around. And then bottom arm goes forwards, kind of towards the top corner of your mat. Palm is down. Top arm reaches above you. Then make sure that top foot's back in space. You're gonna lift your top foot and lift your head, and then lower back down. Yeah, that top glute's still gonna work, but now I want you to feel your waist working. It's kind of a bonus point if you do get kind of a nice bubble of fat here. As awkward as it might feel, that's kind of what you want to happen, depending on your body fat. You're trying to really glide the rib to the hip, hinging up that waist. Get the armpit off the floor as you do that. Reach through the top fingers to help you get up. We got 4 more. You might feel your glute tomorrow. I feel like I might. Also, I just did something I tell people not to do. Look forwards. Try not to look at your foot. If you look at your foot, the hip goes back, the foot goes forwards, all sorts of funny things happen. Keep your eye gaze forwards to keep the head back, the hip forwards, and the foot back. In other words, keep your long line. I think this one's your last, so we'll leave it there. And then we're done with that side. Let's take your top foot, place it flat on the floor in front of the bottom knee. Already I'm feeling a good stretch. You can move that knee around. You should feel your hip opening up one way or another. Big breath. And then we'll just swing it over to the second side. You know what? Butterfly stretch in between. I love a good butterfly in between. You can flutter, whatever feels good, you can rock. I find that a butterfly really kind of releases my hips, whereas a stretch for the glutes, like a figure 4, feels nice, but usually I'm too tight to enjoy the stretch right after. Anyways, we got to do the second side, so let's get there. Readjust that mat. All right, line yourself up, maybe the back of your mat, heels in line with the back of your bum. You should feel a little wobbly if you're in a true long line. Lift the waist, reach out at the top hip, and then let's get into it. Lift up and lower down. Nice and simple, but lots to think about. Can you keep your mouse hole? Can you keep your foot back in space? Only lifting to the point where you're holding good alignment. That way you're truly going into your abduction range of motion. Not letting anything compromise that range. And if you have nice stability there, maybe you point on the way up, flex on the way down. We've got 4 more. Exhale up, inhale down. You can definitely have your fingers on the floor, but maybe you try to lighten them or take your hand to the hip. I feel more wobbly on this side. Notice what you feel. Is there a difference? Okay, on this next one, hold the leg up. You're reaching out of the toes and we're circling. You have this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. I'm feeling the burn with you. Smile through the pain. I love people who do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, second side usually feels harder. You have some residual pain from the first side. Now we have the side kick. Bottom knee bends. Lift that top leg, kick it forwards, maybe a pulse, and then slide it back. Reaching your tail behind you as you reach that leg forwards, keeping length through your spine. enjoying that little stretch that happens as you go forwards. Feel the hamstring. Kind of takes your mind off the pain of the hip a little bit. I'm not too picky with your breath here. As long as you're breathing, I'm happy. It might be helpful to exhale going back because that's going to prevent the ribs from flaring. Up to you. We only have 2 more. Last one. Lower down. Okay. Then we have the side bend. So top leg stays long, bottom arm goes towards that top corner of your mat with the palm down, just for some support, but it's out of your way. Top arm reaches long-ish, and when you're ready, side bend yourself up, reach, and then lower yourself down. Exhale, reach. Keep that foot back in space. It wants to kick forwards. Mine did there. You can glance at your leg to notice your alignment, but again, if you bring your head forwards, chances are you'll want to do this. So try to keep that top hip forwards. Think about the waist being responsible for the lift, not the bottom arm. You're not pushing up. You're reaching up. Imagine that top arm's grabbing a rope as you reach yourself up. That actually kind of helped me more, kind of that bend. Ooh, I kind of like that. You could do that if you want. That's my favorite, when I'm just moving and then find inspiration. One more. That's why Pilates will never be boring. Us instructors are always finding little ways to make it different. Okay, we did that. Put your foot in front of your knee, start here, opening the hip, maybe closing the knee, wherever you feel like it's doing you some good. And then let's take a seat. We'll take that butterfly stretch again. Soles of the feet together, sit tall, then maybe lean forward. Try not to fold. Just like yesterday with that final stretch. Remember how we were really tall, then we reached forward? It makes a huge difference. Settle the shoulders. Maybe kind of rock. Let's spend 5 more seconds here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then sit however feels the best. Whatever allows you to sit tallest. For me, it's usually crisscross applesauce. I'm gonna challenge myself with legs straight out, a little wider than hips. But watch that doesn't make you slouch down. You can even sit up on like a yoga block or something so that you feel less tight. I don't want your hip flexors cramping. You can also do knees bent. Anyways, let's move. Let's do arms stuck up straight ahead, palms face down, and then I want you to drive your elbow behind you, twist to look at it, and then pulse twice, and then reach forwards. So we're twisting, 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 release forwards. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Now as I do this, my front arm is active too. I'm reaching the front arm forwards as I take the elbow back. Create some opposition through your body. Almost like that front arm pulls you deeper into that twist as much as the back arm does. Have you slouch, lift yourself up taller. You're trying to keep your hips stable and you're trying to find some work in your obliques. We don't have extra resistance we're working with besides your own body, so it's okay if you're not feeling a lot. But hopefully you can feel little tugs happening. Really great for just mobility. Let's just finish one more per side. And then release. Okay. Now, let's sit a different way, however is most comfy for you. And then let's just do arms out to the sides, palms up, pulse. Seems like nothing. It will start to feel heavier in a second. If you have hand weights you want to throw into this, by all means. We're not going to be here too long, but I just want your shoulders to work out a little bit. Let's go 5. And maybe just imagine like you have heavy hand weights in your hands. Already my shoulders feel like it's a lot heavier for them. And now palms down. Think about pushing the air down into the ground. Feel the shoulder blades kind of slide together with each press. Can you feel your back working? Not just the shoulders, but the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms face forwards. Press forwards. Try not to move your body around though, okay? It's not a dance move. We're staying really stable, pushing the air just a little bit together between the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last thing, palms back. Again, you'll feel your back working a bit more with this one. Retracting, and shoulders should feel like they're on fire by now. The first few feel so easy. Even I was like, is this actually hard? Like, is this worth doing? It is. 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Woo! And that goes to show you, you really don't need anything to get a good workout. You just need you and your commitment to yourself. That was cheesy. Let's move on. So from here, let's do seated. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see. Knees bent a comfortable distance so that you can sit tall. And then we're reaching arms forwards despite the sore shoulders. I want you to scoop back, tuck the tail, roll your weight onto your tailbone area. The ribs are drawn in and down to the hips. Pause there. Lift one arm and then the other arm. And then just sit up tall to release. Exhale, scoop it back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, roll it back. As you lift your arm, I want you to stay really steady in that scoop. Nothing changes and you should feel your abs working. If you're not feeling the abs yet, don't you worry, it's coming. As long as that's feeling good, could you also lift opposite leg, tabletop? Bring the knee towards your chest. We'll do one more like that. It's okay if you mix up your breath. I just did there. It's fine. Release. Okay. If your back's getting stiff, maybe you don't go as far back. Maybe you just come up a little higher. Do what you need to do. On this next one, let's hold it. And then just go side to side. Maybe exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Almost like the ab is responsible for pulling the knee towards you. 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And then you guys know already, day 2 of this challenge, I like to add in my twist. So this time, let's bring hands together. As you lift one knee, twist to take the hands to the side of it, side to side. If you want it harder, lift both legs in there. And then just tap one toe barely down, balancing a bit more there. I want you to turn your head with your hands. Look at those hands. Make sure you're turning your chest. Hips are stable, but you're spinning around your spine. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Again, a butterfly feels right for me. Do what feels right for you. Okay, and then let's just take a seat. I'm gonna face you guys again. Stick one leg straight out. I got my right leg. Left foot to the inner thigh. Lift your left arm. Side bend over. Reach towards your toe. Maybe you can like relax into it. Depends on how far you can go. Make sure you don't compensate by kind of twisting. Keep shoulders stacked. Big breath. Rinse it up. And then let's reach that arm across. Fold down. Totally different stretch by doing it that way. Maybe you can get forehead to the knee. It's okay if you can't. And I do have my back rounded.
So I'm stretching both my hamstrings and my back. And automatically I'm swaying. It feels good for me to move through it. Do what feels good for you. One more breath. And then we'll just change sides. Stick your leg out, reach up, grow tall, and then just side bend over. You can do whatever you want with your bottom arm, whether it reaches to your ankle too or not. Top palm faces the floor. That should help you go deeper. Really feeling that on the side waist. Come up and then twist and fold. I've got my other hand on the floor, and sometimes I kind of push through that hand so I can turn more. Whatever feels good for you. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe one more butterfly for good luck. Settling in. Take a big breath and let yourself settle. Your whole body relaxes on that exhale. Then take one more big breath just to feel proud of day 2 of this challenge. Give yourself some gratitude. And then that's it for day 2. You did it. Day 2 is done. 25 minutes later, it's over. You did it. Congratulations. I will see you back here tomorrow for more. Great job, you guys. Bye.